They say to get out with the old, you get in with the new. And I haven't been on a date since I was 22. A friend has a friend and they say they're my type. And then they're texting me once and then they're texting me. Oh, hi, hey. Didn't see you there. I sure do remember those first dates. The days, hours, and minutes leading up to it, I was all in my feels. And that song I was just singing was Kelsey Ballerini, How Do I Do This? Which brings back so many memories of those first dates. You know, it's so normal to feel nervous and excited. You're excited to meet someone new. You wonder if they have potential for more. But you're also nervous because you're thinking about, like, what are we going to talk about? Are we going to vibe? Is he going to like me? Am I going to like him? That's more important. Well, worry no further. I got you. This episode is where we get to talk about the questions you want to ask, the things you should take notice of, and what you should listen for during your first date. Hi, I'm Christine, and this is the X Life Podcast, where we talk all things relationships. Yeah, even those potential relationships. First, tell yourself it's okay if it's a no at the end, especially if you're just getting back out there and getting comfortable with dating again. It's definitely true that you have to kiss a few frogs, or, okay, maybe not literally, to find your prince. Now, it will be tempting to potentially stalk this person on social if you can find them. But we all know that what we post on social is never the full story. And it's so easy to go down a rabbit hole and feel like you know the person. Think of it this way. How many times have you heard things about someone that you later found out weren't true or were a bad representation of that person? And I bet this has even happened to you. We've all made mistakes and had bad days, but that shouldn't define us, nor should it influence your perspective before you've met someone. You and your date owe it to yourselves to go into the date with an open mind. Personally, I'm somewhat of an introvert if I don't know someone. I'm not saying there aren't rare occasions where there's an instant connection and I feel comfortable from the start, but it is rare. So, as a more introverted person, and if you are also, I found it very helpful to listen and observe more than I talked. You might be surprised to learn how much information you can gather this way. Like what, you ask? First, observe how they're dressed. Did they put in any effort at all? Did they greet you warmly, or were they kind of cold and distant? Did they give you any compliments or ask questions to help you feel comfortable? Like, how are you? How was your day? Oh, you look nice. I like your shoes. Are they respectful and polite toward you and others? Like they take your coat, open a door, pull out your chair. Are they friendly to the host or the waiter? I know not everyone likes chivalry, and of course you're an independent woman, but there's something really nice about a man being a gentleman and treating you like a lady and not a buddy. After all, you're trying to meet a love interest and not just another friend. So while it's nice to start to warm up by listening and observing, you also want someone to ask about you. It's a huge red flag if he doesn't seem to notice that he's doing all the talking, and if he's also not asking any questions to get to know you. If all he does is talk about himself, then that could be a problem, because he may already be in love with someone, himself. I don't know about you, but a huge ego is a big turnoff for me. Or is there an awkward silence because maybe he's just not yet comfortable or maybe shy? Let's talk about some simple conversation topics to get things moving along. Just be casual and friendly. You don't want to be that girl, the one with the interrogation checklist, which makes me think about the movie He's Just Not That Into You with Jennifer Goodwin's character. I remember in the beginning of the movie, her name is Gigi. She went on a first date with Kevin Connor. And she was basically just rambling off a bunch of questions, which instantly turned him off, and he practically ran away from her at the end. So we don't want to be that girl. So if you're at dinner or just getting a drink, maybe, Talk about what you're ordering. Ask him about his day, his job, his favorite sports team, his family, the basics. You could ask about his last relationship, but honestly, the first date should be light, and it might be too soon for that. Make sure you ask open-ended questions you need to know the answers to in order to even decide if you want a second date. This will differ for everyone, but examples could be, do you want kids? Do you have kids? And I'll give you an example. So the night I met my husband, which wasn't our official first date, but before I even wanted to decide if I wanted to go on a date with him, I had to ask him this question. At the time, he had full custody of his 2 kids. And I know that's a lot. So I did ask if he ever got a sitter, so that if we were going to build a relationship, we could have some couple time to do that. Other examples could be their living situation and their location. Are they open to moving in the future if the relationship gets serious? Also, what makes them happy? It's been my experience that if you find out what makes your man happy, then you know the key to keeping them happy. With my husband, I know that when he gets cranky, he's usually not spending enough time at the gym or with his favorite hobby. Maybe ask how they envision their future. It can be very enlightening to hear their answer, and that may be the deciding factor on whether there's even a date 2. Are they really getting to know you? Is there a genuine interest in who you are as a person? Are they listening to your answers, or are they distracted? Are they looking around the restaurant, maybe looking at other women? Are they looking at their phone? And let's go back to what you're noticing. Are you noticing how you're feeling? And are you observing how he's making you feel? The general vibe. I'm so excited for you. And please join me in the next episode where we take all these things that you've noticed, all the things you've asked, and all the things you've seen, and how you're feeling to decide if you even want a second date. I'm Christine, and this is the X Life Podcast, where we leave behind your X life for your next life. Have a great rest of your day.